D5 K11 also said, I'd like to see player voice lines and responses. Tired of being a silent bodyguard. The world feels so small now. Severe lack of storytelling for our characters. I'd say I agree with the feeling that you are trying to solve of being the silent bodyguard and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, imagine in FF14 if your character, the player character, was fully voice acted. That would, I think, almost all FF players would agree that would be very bad for the game because, you know, it's your character. Why is it speaking with someone else's voice and someone else's words? You know, it's like, hey, writer at Square Enix Business Creative Group 3, why are you writing my dialogue? But what FF does, which I think is what allays your fear there and what speaks to the thing that you want, is a character, you know, instead of being like, MAWWALKER, you must do this for Bastion, you know, talking in a very stilted manner, calling you the MAWWALKER, they will be like, blah, 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 blah. What do you think? Or, you know, should we do this, Matt? And then, you know, rather than, because, you know, imagine Matt is actually not, you know, Matt, this is Matt's player character and this is a video game that Matt's playing.
Yeah.
You know, what do you see in FF? Well, your character will, you know, maybe nod or do an emote or will be shown speaking. No words are coming out because you don't write my dialogue, but it's the sort of thing that's in my head as I'm playing it. And then that makes it feel like I'm having interactions with the characters, and that's the bit that matters. And I could totally see, you know, thinking it's the voice lines that makes that happen. But I'd say, no, it's not that. The voice lines probably wouldn't help. Instead, it's the minutiae. Because I think an MMO where you have an avatar is fundamentally different to Mass Effect, where you are role-playing your own personal bent on a character. Because you play Commander Shepard. You know, maybe you're Jane Shepard or John Shepard, but you are Shepard. Whereas it's not really like that in FF or WoW. But I see what you want, and I think we could get what you want, and I think it would be good if we did.
FF gets there substantially later by giving you a whole bunch of dialogue options.
Yeah.
It gives you a ton of dialogue options, some of which are extremely powerful. And they always give you, like, almost all the time, they give you a little bit of choice in terms of how you want to come across. So you can set up and establish for, like, what does my character sound like? What does my character feel like? And it's always usually, like, you can be, like, straightforward and serious. If it's, like, an opinionated question, you can be straightforward and serious, or you can be, like, snarky or a bit funny. You can be a little bit Joss Whedon written in a way. But, or other times where it's, like, choice kind of related. It's very neutral language, so it just kind of works. You never go, well, my character wouldn't say any of these things. And it just works. And especially, like, the fuck, man. There are times where you're given a dialogue choice, and sometimes you don't have to think. Other times you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is really good. I don't know what to say. This is really important. This is really, like, a really immense moment. Or there's times you click it and you're just like, let's fucking go. Yeah. That's exactly what I would say. It's exactly correct. Fucking incredible. Fantastic.
That's the fun thing. Like, as an example, you know, in our game, there's a lot of dialogue in our game. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we have to do is, you know, because we're a single player narrative game, we have to be very sure that the dialogue options, and this is why writing is fucking hard. Whenever we present the player with dialogue options, we need to think like, okay, let's just say they have 4 different options. All of our players have to find themselves within those 4 options. Yeah. Or else our dialogue doesn't work.
Yep.
That's the shit that's hard to do. But if you do it right, you don't need to voice act your player character, and it's better to not voice act your player character because the dialogue makes sense to the person who's playing, because the writing works, and that's the challenge.
Yeah, there's so many different permutations of it as well, because you think of like Fallout, or like Fallout example has a lot of dialogue choices that kind of work out well, but it depends on what role the player's taking, because there are times where a player can take a role that's very, very, very self-insert. There's players can also be role-playing a specific type, or they can, you know, especially in like the Fallout games, you can role-play fairly nicely of, you know, I'm going to be this stupid asshole this run, or I'm going to be this intelligent pacifist kind of thing. But what was the comparison I was going to draw? There's a game that I was going to draw a comparison to, and I've completely fucking forgot it while I was trying to get to the point, which is very unprofessional of me. I don't remember what it was. That's useful. That's very useful. Fuck that thing. I'll see if I can get it back. I'll see if I can pull it back in my head, but I have no idea what the fuck I was going to say. Yep, this is what happens at 20 past 12.
Gotta late.
At night.
Well, yeah, right. It works, and dialogue is fucking hard to do.
Yeah, there is some good news. I do remember what point I was going to make about voiced characters. Saints Row. Saints Row offers you a couple of voice lines, a couple of different voice styles. While for each gender, not technically true, because you can pick whatever voice you want, no matter what your character looks like or what body type it has. You can pick in Saints Row 3 and 4, the voice types were male 1 2 3, female 1 2 3, and zombie. But it's the kind of thing where they give you a lot of customization, but your character stays largely the same. But it's like outside of story moments, you basically pick the flavor of your character, and then everything else you do appearance-wise works around that, and it ends up feeling pretty good in the sense. Obviously not applicable to MMOs, but I kind of want to get the point that it's a really complicated thing, and there's a load of different ways to do it well. And there's ways you can do it where, in Saints Row 3, for example, my boss was it was the Laura Bailey voice one. I'm fucking so sick of hearing her. Like, does a great job every time.
Oh, it's not her fault. It's just it's like the Troy Baker effect.
Yeah,
where
Nolan North.
Or the Nolan. Yeah, it's like you just get used to their voice, and you just can't hear it everywhere. Just make me wonder where Jennifer Hale's gone. She's still doing what? I just
that's a good thing. Where the fuck is what is Jennifer up to? Anything interesting? Anything? Just rolling on that Mass Effect money. Who knows?
Personal filmography.
It's
probably big. Of course, Jennifer Hale, most known for her portrayal of Junko Zane in the hit 2003 game Freelancer.
Of course.
I really like Freelancer.
Oh, still active was Maria Hill in Marvel's Avengers in 2020. Oh my god, she was Rivet. Fuck's sake.
She's Rivet.
How did I not remember that?
Whoa.
That was a really good performance because I didn't pick up on that being her.
Yeah, the thing about Jennifer Hale, and a lot of times, is she just has such a texture to her voice that people really like. I mean, if generally, like, I mean, no offense in Mass Effect, but like, if it's going to be something or Jennifer Hale, there's just I don't know, something about it. Oh, Overwatch. She also played. Oh, she's Ash.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, shit. I've just managed to Oh yes. She's in Halo as well. Yeah, there you go. I just completely managed to.
I completely forgot
to sidestep all of her new output, other than Ratchet and Clank, which I've not played nearly enough of because I don't have time to play video games, and that makes me extremely, extremely sad.
That's right. I actually forgot about that. The Ambassador Hell said in Saints Row 4, Nolan North was the name of a voice option. That was great.
That's good.
Okay, man. Maybe we'll talk about the new Saints Row reboot because that's an interesting story. That's an interesting story. Basically, I don't know if anyone's paid attention. CG trailer didn't give people the idea that the game necessarily will. Lots of people are very upset, and I hope they don't have reason to be upset tonally, because what VGC have said in what they saw behind the scenes and also in what the gameplay trailer revealed, it looks very Saints Row.
Oh, that's good.
It just the CG trailer maybe misrepresented the cast as a bunch of Californian hipsters, trust fund baby kind of people with that intention, but in the gameplay footage they showed, sounded substantially better. The character dialogue seemed a bit more nuanced, and it looked very much like a Saints Row kind of somewhere between 2 and 3. That's the thing. It's not Saints Row 5. It's Saints Row. Yeah, the main cast looks like a bunch of Zoomers instead of a bunch of gangsters. My take on that is I think that's intentional, and that they will become specifically more Saint-like over time. Because it is the same dev team working on it. I hope they haven't lost their marbles.
Yeah, if you take something like Saints Row and then you pasteurize it, you've just lost it. Because, let's be real, Saints Row, like, did it have good gameplay? I mean, it was, like, fun because it was all crazy, but, you know, it didn't have the best gunplay, didn't have the best world, didn't have the best, you know, Saints Row is, like, at least in my sort of play, because, you know, I played a little bit of 1, of course played 2, played 3, and played 4, and it was just always that it was, like, it was over the top, it had a little bit of an edge, it, you know, it was poking the fun, so if they sanitize the, like, unique vibe of Saints Row, then, I mean, that's a way to kill the franchise.
Yep. So it's a hopefully they don't. But also, I largely disagree with the fact the gameplay. I think the gameplay perfectly serves the purpose of being a popcorn open world game.
Fair. I have a bias against popcorn open world games. I think about it.
So I generally do as well. I fucking despise a lot of them, but it fits that. You know the way you want to you know what you want out of a GTA game, but they don't do it for you.
Yeah.
Saints Row does that for me.
Gotcha.
Basically. But, yeah.
Well, maybe I'll give it a proper check out. But wow, this has been a nearly 6-hour long stream. We've not done one of those in a long time.
Yep, no, we have not.
I feel like if there was a day to do it, it was today, because just before stream, bam, the news happened.
Yeah, just before, like, fucking hell.
So yeah, oh man. So thank you to all the people who